Hi, it's Jen with Cherry Tree Beads, and today we're going to make this turquoise howlite bracelet. This is on a chain and it has a slide clasp at the end and a dangle. So I love the slider clasps on the chain because these bracelets you can easily put on by yourself, and then you just grab the ends right here and then you just slide this into place, and you can have it as tight or as loose as you would like. But I hate getting somebody to put bracelets on for me, so I think this is super nice that I can do it by myself. So I've done this one in a gold, and the next one that we're gonna do is gonna be in silver. And this is the SS01 stainless chain online. So the first thing that we're gonna wanna do is attach our wire to our chain so that we can string on the beads. So I've got a 24 gauge wire stainless steel right here, and I'm just gonna take that with my pliers and I'm gonna bend it away from me so that it's at a 90-degree angle. And I'm gonna put my pliers right here in the angle, and I'm just gonna bend that around. And I'm gonna try and use the tips of my wires as much as possible because these beads are tiny and I want a tiny little loop at the end. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach my chain. Then I'm going to hold it in the loop and I'm going to coil it around about 2 times. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess wire. And then from here, I'm going to want to string on my beads. And this is the reason why I love to leave the beads on the string. Because look, I can take all of these, pull them right off, and string them all right onto my wire without having to try and find those holes. If you've taken your beads off the string and you have them in a little container and you have to find all the little holes to string it again, it can be a pain. So I like leaving them on the string because then I can string them like this. And this is a little bit longer, so maybe I'll take 2 off. So your bar is going to look like that. Just make sure that your wire is straight, or you can curve it if you prefer to go along with the wrist. And then I'm going to put my pliers right here at the top, and I'm going to bend it away from me so that it's at a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to put my pliers in the top right there, and I'm going to coil this around. And again, you want to use the tip of your pliers so that you can keep everything as small and tight as possible. Since these beads are so small, you don't want to have your coil too much larger than the beads. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take the other end of this chain and string it on the wire. And then I'm going to hold my loop and I'm going to coil this around until it goes up against the bead and makes it nice and snug. And then I'm going to cut off the excess wire. And then I'm just going to put it on and see that, you know, I don't want it as long as I've cut it. I'm going to want it about right there. So I'm just going to take this off and just cut it a little bit shorter on either side. And then I've got this piece of 24 gauge wire, maybe it's 26, and I've just bent it in half to kind of make a little needle. And I'm just gonna string one end of the chain on here, and then the other end of the chain on here. And then I've got a 5mm slider clasp, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull that down on here. Then I can take this off. And then I just want to put 2 little beads on the ends to make the little dangles. So I've got a ball pin, which I prefer. It's got these little balls at the end. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna put the bead right against there, bend it away, put my pliers right here, loop it around, and then I wanna add this to the end of my chain. And then once I string it on there, I want to hold this at the top, and then I want to coil this back around until it touches the bead. And then I'm going to cut off the excess wire, and then I want to do the same thing on the other end. So I'm going to put my bead on, put my pliers right up against it, bend it away from me at a 90-degree angle. Put my pliers right here, bend it around, and I'm going to add this to the end here. And then I'm going to hold my loop right here, and I'm going to coil it back around till it touches the bead, and then I'm going to cut off the excess wire. And that's all you need. And you can use any tiny beads in here. You can use tiny rondelles, you could use round beads, you could use large beads if you wanted to as well. But I think the small ones look nice with the smaller chain. So thanks so much for watching, and all of these supplies can be found at cherrytruebeads.com.